Your initial plan, because I watched one of your interviews. You said Yo Gotti found you because, like you said, you were doing your lay mixes, your covers of already popular songs. So when you hit the gram with it, was that your like idea? Somebody's gonna find me. I'm gonna get signed.
So actually, I was in college for nursing. So I started off in college, wanted to be a nurse, but that's when I started to post the videos and started to get love. I feel like I was just doing what I love to do.
Before we go any further, though.
Station?
Yeah.
I asked that because I watched the interview, one of your interviews too. You said you once DM'd Yo Gotti as one of the people you were like,
yeah,
and that he eventually, opened it once he found your music. So speak on that one.
I actually DM him and I DM Jermaine Dupri. I definitely manifested and prayed.
It is important to separate confirmed facts from online speculation.
Welcome to the family. How you doing? Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. How would you do that?
Oh, she said I'm from G. I don't love.
Ain't no time to cry, man. We gotta get the money. Hey, look, ain't no time to be crying.
Social media has been flooded with rumors, fan theories, and dramatic posts connecting Yo Gotti, GloRilla, and Angela Simmons.
Yeah, he came to my event.
We saw he gave you some flowers.
Yeah, they were really nice.
So y'all not together in it?
No.
He shot his shot, though.
He's a nice guy, and I'm flattered by everything.
However, a viral claim does not automatically mean that every detail has been confirmed by the people involved. And honestly, that is what makes this story so messy. By the time someone clears up one rumor, 5 more have already appeared. Still, the reason people are paying so much attention is simple. Angela and Gotti did not have an ordinary relationship story. This was a romance that played out in front of the public for years. Yo Gotti had been openly interested in Angela long before they officially became a couple. He made references to her publicly, shot his shot, sent gifts, and made it clear that he was not exactly hiding his feelings. For years, fans watched the situation from the outside and joked that Gotti was the man who simply refused to give up. Angela, on the other hand, did not immediately jump into a relationship with him. She had her own life, her own relationships, and her own experiences. There were times when fans thought the two might finally become a couple, only for nothing to happen. Then, after years of speculation, something changed. Angela and Gotti finally appeared to give their relationship a real chance. And for many fans, it felt like the ending to a very long romantic story. The man had spent years pursuing her, and eventually she seemed ready to see where things could go.
But here's the problem with relationships that have been watched by millions of people. Every smile becomes evidence, every unfollow becomes a breakup, and every rumor becomes an emergency. And now the internet has thrown GloRilla into the middle of it all. The moment people started spreading claims that GloRilla had supposedly confirmed she was pregnant with Yo Gotti's baby, social media did what social media always does. It ran with the story at full speed. Screenshots started circulating. Reaction videos started appearing. Comment sections became detective agencies. And suddenly, people were asking the same question over and over again. What would Angela do? Would she stay quiet? Would she confront the situation? Would she walk away? Or was this entire story built on rumors that had grown bigger with every repost? And that's when everything changed. Because this was not just another random celebrity rumor. Yo Gotti and GloRilla already had a professional connection through CMG. That alone gave people enough material to start connecting dots. But as we have seen many times before, the internet does not always distinguish between a business relationship, friendship, flirtation, rumor, or fact. Once the pregnancy claims began spreading, fans immediately started looking back at old interviews, videos, appearances, and social media posts. Suddenly, everything seemed suspicious. A smile became a clue. A photograph became evidence. A song lyric became a confession. And a normal interaction became the beginning of a secret relationship. But here's the twist. When people want to believe a story badly enough, they can make almost anything fit the narrative.
Still, the Angela Simmons angle made the rumors impossible to ignore. Fans remembered how long Gotti had pursued her. They remembered the public attention. They remembered the expensive gifts and the years of people wondering whether Angela would ever give him a real chance. So when rumors began suggesting that another woman could be carrying his child, people immediately imagined the emotional damage that situation could cause. And honestly, you can understand why. It is one thing to deal with rumors about your relationship. It is another thing to wake up and see your name trending next to claims that your partner may have started an entirely separate family. That kind of story does not stay private. It becomes entertainment for strangers, and every stranger suddenly has an opinion.
Some people began saying Angela should have expected trouble. Others defended her and said that nobody deserves to be embarrassed publicly. And then there were the people who simply wanted the drama to continue because, to them, celebrity relationships are treated like television shows. But Angela is not a fictional character. Gotti is not a fictional character. And neither is GloRilla. Behind every viral headline, there are real people who have to deal with the consequences after everyone else moves on to the next trending topic. What nobody expected was how quickly the alleged pregnancy story would become connected to older rumors surrounding Gotti and women in his circle. Suddenly, fans were bringing up every old allegation, every supposed side relationship, and every moment from the past that had ever raised questions. The internet began building a timeline, and once that happens, it is almost impossible to stop. People started asking whether Angela had ignored warning signs. Others wondered whether Gotti had ever really changed after finally getting the woman he had spent years chasing. That question hit especially hard because of the way their story began. For so long, Gotti was the pursuer. Angela was the woman who kept saying no. Fans joked about how long he waited. They joked about persistence. They joked that one day she might finally realize he was serious. And eventually, she did give him a chance. So if the relationship was now surrounded by rumors of betrayal, that would make the situation even more painful. Think about it. You spend years telling someone you care about them. You make it public. You put yourself out there. You finally get the opportunity you wanted, and then, according to the rumors circulating online, everything becomes threatened by a scandal involving someone connected to your own professional circle. That is exactly why the story caught fire. But here's where things get even more complicated. GloRilla herself became a major part of the conversation because fans wanted a clear answer. Did she actually confirm anything? Was there a real announcement? Or were people taking jokes, posts, or unrelated moments and turning them into a pregnancy confirmation? This is where celebrity gossip becomes dangerous. 1,000 people can repeat the same claim, but repetition does not turn speculation into proof. And yet, by that point, the damage can already be done. Angela's name was being pulled into conversations she may not have chosen to be part of. GloRilla was being discussed as though every rumor had already been established as fact. And Gotti's relationship history was once again under a microscope.
Then came the emotional reaction from fans. Many people said that if Angela really was heartbroken by the situation, nobody should be surprised. After all, relationships are difficult enough without millions of people watching. Imagine dealing with a private argument while strangers online are making memes about it. Imagine hearing a rumor about your relationship and then opening your phone to find thousands of people telling you what you should do. Leave him, stay with him, expose him, ignore it. The pressure would be unbelievable. And this is where the story takes a deeper turn. Angela Simmons has spent years living in the public eye. People know her family, they know her relationships, they know about her career. And because she has been famous for so long, some people forget that fame does not remove emotion. A famous person can still feel embarrassed. A famous person can still feel betrayed. A famous person can still cry. And if the reports and rumors were truly affecting Angela emotionally, then the public pressure could make everything even worse. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. Instead of the conversation staying focused on what was actually confirmed, social media began creating its own version of the story. In one version, GloRilla had supposedly exposed everything. In another, Angela was allegedly devastated. In another, Gotti was caught between two women.
And in another, the entire situation was supposedly part of some deeper secret that had been happening for months. The truth is that viral stories often grow because people add their own imagination to the gaps. And the gaps in this story were huge. That did not stop the internet from talking. One fan would post, "I knew something was going on." Another would say, "Angela waited all these years for this?" Then someone else would reply, "Y'all are believing anything without proof." And honestly, that last point is important because the biggest question is not whether the story sounds dramatic. The biggest question is what can actually be confirmed. Still, even if some of the claims remain unverified, the public reaction reveals something interesting about how people view Gotti and Angela's relationship. A lot of people had emotionally invested in their story. They saw it as the classic tale of a man chasing a woman for years and finally winning her over. That is why the idea of betrayal feels so shocking to fans. People expected the pursuit to mean something. They assumed that after waiting so long, Gotti would do everything possible not to lose the relationship once he finally had it. But relationships do not always follow the story people create in their heads. Sometimes the person who chases the hardest is not necessarily the person who can maintain the relationship. And that possibility is exactly what has fans questioning everything.
And that's when everything changed again. The conversation shifted away from GloRilla and the alleged pregnancy claim and moved toward Angela herself. What does Angela want? What is she willing to accept? How much public drama can one relationship survive? Those questions became bigger than the original rumor. Because whether or not every detail circulating online turns out to be true, the story has forced people to look at the pressure surrounding their relationship. For Angela, that pressure must be exhausting. She did not immediately give Gotti a chance. She took years. She lived her life, she dated other people, and when she finally appeared to open the door to a relationship with him, the public was watching closely. That alone can put enormous pressure on two people. Every romantic moment gets analyzed, every absence gets questioned, and every woman connected to the man becomes a possible threat in the eyes of social media. Now add pregnancy rumors to that situation. Add a successful female artist. Add a powerful record label connection. Add a history of online gossip, and you have the perfect recipe for a viral disaster. But the emotional impact could be much bigger than one rumor. For Angela, the hardest part may not even be what strangers are saying. It could be the uncertainty. Because uncertainty can destroy trust faster than an argument. When you do not know what is true, your mind starts filling in the blanks. You remember old moments. You question things you previously ignored. You wonder whether certain conversations meant something different. And suddenly, even a small rumor can feel enormous. That is why fans saying Angela was crying or emotionally hurt struck such a nerve. People know what betrayal feels like. Maybe not on a celebrity level, maybe not with millions of people watching, but almost everyone understands the feeling of trusting someone and then wondering whether that trust was misplaced. And if Angela was genuinely hurt by everything being said, the situation would be even more painful because she could not escape it. The story would be everywhere, on her phone, in comment sections, on gossip pages, in videos, probably even in conversations with friends and family. That is the part people often forget. When the cameras stop rolling, celebrities still have to go home and live with the situation.
Meanwhile, GloRilla would also be dealing with the consequences of being dragged into a story that people may be exaggerating beyond recognition. That is why facts matter. If there is no verified confirmation, then people should be careful about presenting speculation as reality. But that does not mean the drama will disappear, because the internet loves a mystery. And right now, this situation has everything people react to. A famous rapper, a celebrity relationship, a successful female artist, pregnancy rumors, possible betrayal, and a woman who allegedly waited years before finally giving the relationship a chance. That is why people cannot stop talking. So where does this leave Angela Simmons? Only she knows what is happening behind closed doors. The public can speculate. Fans can create timelines. Gossip pages can post theories. But relationships are decided by the people inside them. And maybe that is the biggest lesson in this entire situation. The public spent years watching Gotti chase Angela. Then they watched Angela finally appear to give him a chance. Now, as rumors and unverified claims continue to swirl, everyone wants to know how the story ends. Will Angela stay?
Will she walk away? Will Gotti address the rumors? Will GloRilla speak directly about the claims? Or will the internet eventually discover that it built an entire scandal around assumptions? At this point, there are more questions than answers. But one thing is certain. Once a relationship becomes entertainment for millions of people, silence can sometimes speak louder than any statement. And perhaps that is what makes this story so emotional. Angela's journey with Gotti was never just a random celebrity romance to the public. People watched the chase for years. They watched the rejection. They watched the possibility of love finally becoming real. So the thought that everything could be threatened by another scandal feels like the cruelest twist imaginable.
But relationships are not fairy tales. Sometimes the person you finally give a chance to is not the person you expected. Sometimes rumors reveal nothing. Sometimes they reveal everything. And sometimes the truth takes longer to come out than the internet is willing to wait. So if the claims surrounding GloRilla and Yo Gotti are eventually addressed, that could completely change the story. Until then, it is important to remember that a viral rumor is not the same thing as a confirmed fact. But tell me what you think. Do you believe Angela Simmons should address the rumors directly? Or do you think silence is the best response until there is real proof? And if you were Angela, after years of turning Gotti down before finally giving him a chance, would you stay and fight for the relationship? Or would this be the final straw? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more celebrity stories, shocking updates, and the drama everyone is talking about, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because if this story develops, you already know we'll be watching.